Hey guys, it's Hink here, and I have to say it's been a while since I've been this excited to talk about a topic. And so the topic we're going to be talking about today is a supplement that was previously on the FDA banned list that is now available for purchase in the United States. And it has incredible effects for overall penile health, and especially in any guys engaging in any sort of enlargement practices. And so we're going to discuss it today, so stay tuned. So today we're going to be talking about N-Acetyle Cysteine, okay, or NAC for short. And basically what it is it's an essential amino acid, and it works along this pathway where it's a precursor to L-cysteine, and the L-cysteine is responsible for replenishing glutathione, which is a very powerful antioxidant. Why does that matter? Well, let's discuss, okay? First of all, why was it banned? It was actually banned because it was so effective at especially treating certain diseases like liver disease and reversing the damage done to the liver, that the FDA said, no, this doesn't qualify as a supplement, it actually qualifies as a medicine, and so they banned it. Recently, they reversed that decision. And so why does this matter to us? Well, there's two important papers which we're going to talk about, and I'll put the first one on the screen. And so this paper was examining basically the prevention of fibrosis in rats who had that same crushed nerve injury, and to see if it could prevent fibrosis from developing. And this second paper that I'll put up here, it studied something very similarly. They had the rats with the crushed nerve injury, but before the nerve injury, they were N-Acetyle Cysteine, and they were more so focused on the nitric oxide pathway, which is vital to erections. Did it help? Well, yes, it did, obviously, or else we wouldn't be talking about it, but it preserved not only penile length, it improved penile function, and it kept intact the structures of the corpus cavernosum. The most important thing that I think comes from this paper was the fact that you had marked decrease, which means dramatic decrease in the markers of fibrosis and penile damage. This includes increased endothelial nitric oxide synthase, alpha smooth muscle actin, and decreased hypoxia-inducible factors, transforming growth factor B1, collagen, and lysine oxidase, okay, or lysyl oxidase. And I'll put up a picture here where you can see some of the pathways that were involved in this, okay? The main pathway through which this is involved is its effects on anti-hypoxia and anti-fibrosis, as well as preservation of the nitric oxide pathway. If you have not seen my video on citrulline, which I'll put up a little bloop here, it's important that you understand how nitric oxide works in inducing an erection and why it's so vital and why you need to start supplementing with citrulline. So check that out. I won't waste time in this video doing that. One thing that comes up is, some people think I'm an alarmist, but guys, we are doing all kinds of damage to our penises, whether it be through any kind of enlargement practices or whether through actually just aging process. And so what they saw in this paper is that when you had hypoxia, or basically low oxygen in the corpus cavernosum, this leads to apoptosis or cell deaths of the smooth muscle in the corpus cavernosum. You have a reduced muscle to collagen ratio. Basically, the higher the collagen, the higher the fibrosis. And then you had impairment of endothelial function and fibrosis, as seen in this paper here. So basically what I'm saying is I'm going on record and saying that you don't want hypoxia in your penis if you can prevent it with a supplement, whether it be PDE5 inhibitor, citrulline, or whether it be this N-Acetyle Cysteine. Yeah, I know some people will say, oh, well, hypoxia induces angiogenesis. Well, it's actually arteriogenesis, but that's a discussion for another day, okay? And so along with the fibrosis process from hypoxia, there's also free radical damage. And so basically a free radical is an unstable electron in your body that binds with other atoms in your body, and it causes damage through reactive oxygen species. If you're interested in learning more, just Google reactive oxygen species, okay? And so it can cause huge problems, including damage to the endothelial lining of the cells, which can lead to erectile dysfunction. N-Acetyle Cysteine can actually, it is a free radical scavenger, and so that's part of how its antioxidative effects can reverse that damage, okay? Guys, when you are pulling and tugging and stretching and clamping your dick, you are causing both macroscopic and microscopic trauma. As I've mentioned before, here's a study on the nerves in rats. In 2 minutes of stretching, and you have measurable apoptosis, which is programmable cell death in the smooth muscles with only 2 minutes, okay? If you have nerve damage, there's measurable damage that you can see in as little as 1 day after nerve ablation. And as you can see in my megalophallus post, which if you haven't seen that video, I'll put up a bloop here. But when you're doing things like clamping, any kind of obstruction of the blood flow can lead to ischemic changes or poor oxygenated changes that can lead to decreased erectile function, which is why some of these guys with like sickle cell disease lose that erectile function. And once again, normal aging. And so aging is associated with fewer smooth smooth muscle cells and increase fibrosis within the corpora cavernosa, preventing adequate penile engorgement and pressure on the penile veins, as well as decreased nitric oxide and endothelial cell function. So basically, just by being an aging man, which all of us are if you're watching this video, there's damage in addition to what we do to ourselves doing PE. And so that N-Acetyl Cysteine can reverse essentially every single thing that I just talked about, or at least help to prevent it, okay? One of the most interesting things that I gathered from this paper is it actually has anti-Lysyl Oxidase properties, okay? So what is lysyl oxidase? So lysyl oxidase is basically one of the things that's responsible for the maturation of collagen and elastin proteins into mature fibers, okay? When you have fibrosis, you have an upregulation of that lysyl oxidase, and so you have increased basically fibrosis, increased fibers in the penis. Interestingly enough, they say that these lysyl oxidase levels actually decrease with age in this paper, and they provided a reference from that. Another important thing is that there was a paper published in rats where they actually gave them a potent anti-Lysyl oxidase drug, and it dramatically increased the rat penis size. You can see it in this abstract here when combined with pumping because of its ability to basically break down the tunica in rats made of those collagen fibers, okay? This is a big if here, but what this paper is showing is that N-Acetyl Cysteine can decrease your lysyl oxidase. And so in theory, decreased lysyl oxidase, like shown in that rat paper, could potentially lead to increased or faster rate of gains, especially when you are submitting your dick to enlargement practices like pumping or clamping or even stretching for that matter. So big if there, but important if, okay? It's also shown that N-Acetyl Cysteine has benefits when combined with PDE5 inhibitors like Viagra. And so this study demonstrated that it actually works basically synergistically and can help to increase or upregulate the PDE5 inhibitors, leading to increased nitric oxide availability and decreased apoptosis of endothelial cells, okay? Guys, if you made it this far, I'd appreciate it if you like and subscribe in this video, okay? So what are some other generic benefits of N-Acetyl Cysteine, okay? It's an antioxidant, so reactive oxygen species damage occurs everywhere in your body, not just in your penis, and so you can have the antioxidant effects. So along with that, you can have diminished kidney and liver damage. There's evidence of it improving mental health, boosting respiratory conditions, boosting brain health, improved fertility in men and women, stabilizing blood sugars. It may reduce heart disease and improved immunity. So a lot of generic benefits to take it as well. So what are some of the side effects? Well, generic stuff like nausea and diarrhea in some. Overall, this is an extremely well tolerated medication, okay? Which is why it was a supplement for so long, because it was so well tolerated. And so one interesting study I came across is that they looked at mice that were basically genetically engineered with a transcription factor removed, okay? So that in itself can put you prone to actual cancer development. But they did study N-Acetyl Cysteine, and in the mice that took N-Acetyl Cysteine, they had increased rates of lung cancer, okay? So do I think that taking N-Acetyl Cysteine is going to cause cancer? No, okay? They did mention that basically the thought was that N-Acetyl Cysteine was so important in preserving actual cells that some of the cancer cells that would have normally died were preserved by N-Acetyl Cysteine, and that led to the cancer development. They were reaching, in my opinion, and this is, once again, genetically modified mice. So no, I don't think this is going to cause cancer, and obviously there's no published data to show that, okay? So how do I take it? Well, this is extremely poorly absorbed and poorly bioavailable. So you actually have to take large doses in order to orally get what you need into your body to get these benefits. The range is typically between 600 to 1800 milligrams daily. I am a less is more kind of guy, and so I'm just simply taking 1000 milligrams daily, okay? And so, conclusions, okay? So, N-Acetyl Cysteine can lead to improved penile health and longevity, decreased risk of enlargement damage, decreased risk of fibrosis. This even has indications in potentially Peyronie's disease and slowing that disease process. It's preventative against penile injuries. You can have possibly even an increased rate of gains through those anti-LOX or lysyl oxidase effects, and as well as general health benefits, okay? So I would recommend adding this into your supplement, rotation, okay? Honestly, I wish I could have been taking this for longer just because, I'm not worried about necessarily how my dick is functioning now. I want it to function appropriately, 20, 30, God willing, 40, 50, 60 years from now, okay? Honestly, I think this is up there, if not maybe even more important than citrulline or a PDE5 inhibitor, okay? If you haven't seen those videos, check those out. finally, I am taking Cialis. I decided to take 5 milligrams Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Okay, that's what works best for me. But 2.5 milligrams daily is probably more efficient, a little bit better. So guys, thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. Check out all my other videos like the citrulline and PDE5 inhibitors. I'll put some cards up here. I'll put some links in the description. Check out Leviathan Supps or Amazon for our product Vigor. Great pre-workout, great for penile health. If you need to get in contact with me directly or you just want to support me, check out my patreon.kink. Do your own research, form your own conclusions, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. And before I forget, if we can get this video to above 100 likes, we'll do a live Q&A. So anyways, guys, I wish you all the best. Peace and love.